let's kind of shift gears a little bit, and we're going to move into some pretty exciting stuff here. And again, I'm on the fly here trying to do this. Let's see if this works here, buddy. I'm going to share a screen, and I'm going to. Can you see that? Can you see that screen that popped up there? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Awesome. So this is the Amazon Prime Video. This is their YouTube account, and I have pulled up here just the 1 minute Lord of the Rings, The Rings of Power title announcement. I was blown away by this. We're going to let it play. It's got some great audio to it, and then we're going to discuss. So here we go. Let's just sit back and listen to this and see what we get.
Three rings for the elven kings under the sky. 7 for the dwarf lords in their halls of stone. 9 for mortal men doomed to die. 1 for the Dark Lord on his dark throne in the land of Mordor, where the shadows lie.
Yeah. I mean, literally
What?
unbelievable. So I could not believe this. What were your initial thoughts on when you saw this?
Man, okay, so number one, I did not anticipate, because this is taking place during the Second Age, right? Based on what we've heard. I didn't anticipate necessarily that this would be the main focus, that they were going to focus on. But the Rings of Power, I feel like, and again, I don't want to sound like a poser with me not reading all the different books and stuff. I don't know a lot of the history and whatnot, but I would imagine the Rings of Power play into the overall history of the Tolkien universe. So to see how that pieces into all this different history and has an effect on previous ages, I think will be really, really interesting. And just even from this initial little teaser, I can tell, I was like, okay, they're doing their own spin. I know there's not a lot to go off of, but it's like, it seems unique and separate enough from the original Peter Jackson movies that it can captivate a new audience, but still retain that excitement. And so for me, I was just like, what? This is going to be awesome. I can't wait to see more about it.
Yeah, I'm with you, man. It is, and you're right that it's not much is like the Second Age is just an outline. We don't really, I mean, it's 3,000 years, and there are a list of like 25 kings that have extended lives, and there are elves who are, immortal and that live during this time. And I've been thinking the same thing. I'm like, what are they going to carve out? What are they going to cut out and try to tell us? And whether it's, now we have to see the creation of the ring, right? We're going to see the creation of these rings of power, is what's implied here. And then, like you said, how do they affect? Because that is something we didn't know. We just know that there were rings, and some of them took them off, and that there was a one ring that could bend them to their will, and all these different things, different guardians for the elven rings, and you're like, wow, what does that all mean? How does it all work? And so it is a really good, I don't know, like a tie-in that they're going to make it a focus and help us understand what Anatar Sauron was doing, and then maybe why those rings are so powerful. Because I've always wondered, like, this is probably a simple, stupid question, but like, what are their powers? Like, how are they powerful? What do they do? Do they give you influence, insight, different things? I mean, like, what is it that's going to be? Were there notes on that? Were there things that Tolkien, because they're just such a big mystery that, I don't know, right?
Yeah, and to be able to like unpack that and see a little bit of like what each different ring made it unique and separate. Like, what do the rings of men have that are separate from the rings of the elves and the rings of the dwarves. And, obviously we've seen the one ring of power and the effect that has, but to unpack what the different powers of the separate other rings are and how they differ from each other, I'm just like, what? This is going to be awesome.
Yeah, for sure. I know. And it just looks awesome. Something I did not know, and shout out to Cam Hansen, who's done some of our like commercials and has done some fun stuff with us and just filming. And he's great. I'll put a link down to his social media. I'm going to have him on the show too at some point here just to discuss this, because he pointed out, and I didn't know there's an actual behind the scenes reel. Let me see. Have you seen this where they did like the making of, where they showed?
Oh no.
Okay, this was on. Let me see if I can find it on their Twitter. I'll kind of take this down real quick. Let me undo that. Yeah, they actually have, I guess, because Cam pointed this out, that there's that's not CGI. Like apparently it's actual real effects or something. And I was shocked by that. I actually didn't believe him. I was like, come on now, some of that has to be, like, let's not get carried away here. Like maybe part of it's real, but then there's a bit that's not like that is CGI or something.
It's all real. All of this is real.
Yeah, it's all yeah. Oh my gosh. So let's see here if they show us. So that's just the trailer.
Sorry.
No, I gotta find this real quick. So it's called the making of the title reveal for Lord of the Rings. Let's see if we can find it. The Rings of Power. Yeah. Wow. I got used to saying that. The Rings of Power. What a powerful title. What did you think of the title itself, actually?
Dude, I was pumped. And now that we have our own Rings of Power as well,
yeah.
maybe...
yeah. That's funny.
God, man.
Yeah, no, it's great. Okay, here it is. Took me a second, but I got it here. Let me pull this back up for you guys. So add this in here. Have you seen this? This is them actually making the title. So here we go. This is I'm going to turn the volume up a little bit on this. And there we go. But it's like real, man.
Oh my gosh.
Mm-hmm.
Holy crap.
Yeah, so for those of you that are listening, if you get a chance to go to our YouTube channel or even just go look this up, IGN has this exclusive where they're showing, look at that, they're pouring water over this molten, like they're actually building the title.
What?
It's crazy. I mean, it's another level that yeah.
What that's amazing.
Right? Is that not? Okay. So anyone who hasn't seen that, I was blown away because normally you just stop at like who goes to IGN afterwards. I don't know. You hear them talk about stuff, but they had this exclusive kind of behind the scenes. There's this guy running over. Right? They've got the cameras out on the table. He's running over. They're pouring this into a wooden sort of it's wood. Yeah, like a cast. Yeah. And we can see them pouring that. The camera pops in right there. Let me go back to like 8 seconds. You can see the camera kind of flying over top to get that first pour, which is pretty cool. And then just so to me, is that like, I think some of the smoke and stuff they might have done up a bit, but look at that.
Man, I want to like just buy that. Like,
right?
Right? Like, I mean, it's probably hundreds of thousands of dollars if it ever did go up on sale, but like,
oh God. Yeah. It is just really cool, man. They're burning the crap out of that.
Yeah, they are.
And it looks so here we go. Yeah, just clicking through here. The Rings of Power. They're pouring the O, getting those shots. Yeah. And this is what was amazing. They have like a glass, piece of glass or something, like a ramp where they pour 2 buckets of water and it just comes running down over top of the title to cool it. They've got cameras all over it and they're just getting that steam or whatever, right? Rising off of these cooled, and it all makes sense too, right? They're forging the title, and this is a series about the forging of these rings of power.
Well, you gotta think too, if this is how much time and effort they put to revealing the title, how much more is this gonna be like the dedication and effort they put into each episode. Like, this is just the title reveal.
Right. Exactly. Yeah, and so let me shout out here. Let's see, Lane. Let me see. Let me pull up this message real quick. He said, yeah, he wanted to give me a text message I could read here. So his 2 cents. He's blown away that it was all practical effects, like you said. Like that's mind blowing. I thought it was landscapes at first, then I totally thought that it was CGI forging. The fact that they went to those lengths on a title reveal is incredibly reassuring. I think we'll see the return of lots of practical effects, which is one of the things so many of us loved about Lord of the Rings. Sarah also said that she loves young Galadriel's voice. Is that Morfydd Clark? I think is I think the actress. Yeah,
right.
Yeah. It was cool. Yeah, it was cool how her higher timbre, makes her sound younger. Actually, so she sounds which this is a young Galadriel, right? So just some thoughts from Goldberry and Lane there, and just awesome. So if you guys got thoughts on it, we're gonna post a video over on YouTube just with some of our reaction and some of our thoughts. Leave some comments over there, and we'll probably do at some point we're gonna do a standalone just again on. I want to get some of the uppers, just people we've had on the show before, their thoughts on this, and then when do you think we're gonna get? So September 2nd is when it's coming out, right?
Yeah.
When do you think the likelihood that like where are we going to get a trailer?
I was just thinking about that. If I were to guess, I would say maybe like a few months before, like maybe the summer. I feel like this is very much as like we're going to like whet your appetite for it. We're not going to give you too much, but we're going to give you enough to get excited. And I think probably a couple months before September 2nd, they might do more of a reveal because, I look at other movies that have come out where, especially when there's been so much secrecy going into it, I'm thinking of the newest Spider-Man movie, for example.
Oh, yeah.
There was a lot of stuff that they were like, we want this to be a surprise to people. And there's obviously rumors and stuff like that, but for such a huge thing that people have been looking forward to, there's been rumors for years. I think they're going to kind of keep their cards pretty close to the chest about not revealing too much all at once. But I think probably a couple months beforehand, if I were to guess, they will probably reveal a little bit more. And I'm just excited for whatever we get. It's going to be amazing.
Yeah, no, I am too. And I think you're probably right that they do want to keep this really secretive and not much to be known about it. We got that one image release. So, and I think one of the things I've read about Amazon is that they like to kind of bombard the world with their promotional material just a couple months out and not like start 9 months away and say, okay, here's a big trailer and oh yeah, this is not coming out for another 9 months or something. So this is, you downplay, not downplay it, but you just enough for those people who are all following the Twitter accounts and people like us who are like locked in on it. So I know this was really encouraging because Lane, last time we talked about this, he was like, man, at some point you just have to like give us something because I've run out of things to kind of, I don't even know, there's nothing. So we just need to see it. And then here we go. We got it. And then we'll get some more trailers, hopefully. So yeah, I think you're right. I think we'll probably be, 3-4 months out or something. We'll get a teaser trailer. And I'd rather not know too much about it, honestly. I'm in on the secrecy thing. Look how that paid off for Spider-Man and like the Mandalorian and other shows. It pays off huge when you can hold those secrets in,
Absolutely. Which this is a slight tangent, but in listening back to the last episode that was posted with Jim Nichols, did the War of the Rohirrim, did that come out? It was released?
Right. No. So that's an interesting, I'm glad you brought that up. I don't know what is going on with that. I'll look up real quick and see what I can find. I think they postponed it. It was just a title reveal that they wanted to kind of shove it out there that, hey, we're doing this, but we're not saying when.
Yes. And that's what I thought. I remember listening to the episode and I was amazed that, like you guys had talked about in that episode, that Warner Brothers / New Line had come to an agreement with the Tolkien estate. And I mean, it says right here, I'm just on the IMDb page, that it says production status filming, which isn't a whole lot to go off of. But I mean, I think you or Jim may have mentioned, or you or Lynn may have mentioned, like Enter the Matrix. That was like another example of how they got like an anime style to follow a storyline. Batman did something similar called Gotham Knight, where they did a couple different animation styles. And I'm like, this is awesome too. Not to downplay Rings of Power by any means, but to have more like on-screen adaptations of things that, you know, it sounds like this could be part of canon from the Peter Jackson trilogy, in that they might like reference stuff, but there's so much freedom that you have with the medium of animation.
Right.
And I'm like, oh, if that happens, that'd be great. I almost wonder if they put it off because of the hype for the Rings of Power. But
this has been a kind of a mystery to me. So it's this anime film that's in development. They said they were fast tracking it, and this was in June of 2021, and we've not heard a daggone thing since, really. So, and it's supposed to be set 250 years before the main events of Lord of the Rings, and we just really don't know anything. I thought it was going to be something like they were going to try to get it out before Amazon.
That makes sense. Yeah. Especially because it's a competing studio. You think like, let's get this out so we're not having to like compete with the success of the Amazon thing. But I don't know. Hard to say. Yeah.
It's wild. So it is. Yeah. If people have updates on that or thoughts, send us a message for sure. Cause I'd love to discuss it more. And who knows, maybe it just seems odd that this anime would be trying to compete again. It's just tough. Like, you either fast track it and get it out beforehand. So because once we get the Amazon series, people are going to just be locked and loaded on that. And it's like the time to strike might be before I don't know, but who knows, man? They could in a month or so say, hey, it's coming in this summer. It'll be out. You guys can all watch it. And it's sort of an appetizer before we get ready for, even though the two different studios and different rights and different timeline or different time periods, it's still, we're all Tolkien fans, and we're
exactly. If Sony and Marvel can make coexisting related things,
absolutely.
It's all about appreciation of the source material.
Right. Right. No, I agree with you on that. Yeah, that was an amazing feat that they've been able to get Spider-Man involved in the Avengers and everything too. So yeah, if they can do that, we can definitely do something here. So, okay, man. Yeah, I think that is, gosh, that's all I really have for like news, and that's your biggest news you can get. Yeah. It's so wild. Normally, Lane and I will record something, and so I was like, I actually was going to record with you or try to record something, and the date that I had picked originally was like before this dropped, and I was like, there you go, holy smokes. That's just normally our luck, is that Lane and I will record something, then the news drops, and we're like, shoot. So this worked out perfectly for us, which is cool.
Definitely.
Okay.